Hey everybody, Andrew Beckford here with Motorola Type, and I am going to show you a small piece of Forza Motorsport 6 that is not in the demo that is currently available. Yes, Microsoft has given us permission to show you a little slice of the game that most haven't seen yet, and what we're going to show you today is a free play race at Spa during the nighttime racing at Spa basically. So again, this is a part of the game that is not in the demo, so this is what we want to show you guys first. I will be racing Spa at night in the Audi R8 V10 2013 model. There's no particular reason why we chose this car other than the fact that I didn't know what to pick, so I picked the R8 because I'm a huge Iron Man fan and this is what Tony Stark drives. So yeah, that's why I picked this car. Before we get started, there's two things that I want to note. The first is that I am playing the game at 1080p resolution and at 60 frames a second frame rate, but you are watching this video at 1080p resolution but at 30 frames a second frame rate. The reason for that is we cannot capture game footage at 1080p 60 frames a second right now with our current game capture device. We had a device that could do it, we bought one that could do it, but it wasn't playing well with our computer, so we had to take it back and get a different one. So we cannot do 1080p 60 frames a second gameplay footage, but I assure you the game is running at 60 frames a second. We can do 60 frames a second footage, but it downscales the resolution to 720p. And Microsoft has asked us not to upload anything that is below 1080p in resolution before the embargo or during the embargo review timetable. So what we may do later is after the embargo is lifted, we'll do some 60 frames a second videos in 720p just to show how smoothly the game runs. But for now, we're going to stick to 1080p at 30 frames a second. The other thing I want to note is that I am not using a wheel to play this game. I'm using the Xbox One controller. We currently do not have a wheel that is compatible with the Xbox One, not yet anyway. So if the steering looks a little bit erratic, it's just because my thumb is kind of twitchy on the analog sticks. Anyway, having said all that, let's go ahead and get started with the race. Now, you can see just how dark it was in that shot. This is Spa at night, as I mentioned before, and there are no spotlights anywhere. The only lights are, let me switch the cockpit view, are coming off of my headlights and the headlights of my 23 other competitors here. Whoa. So as you can see, once you get past all the grandstands, it's pretty dark. And you can also see that my headlights reflect differently off of different surfaces. So there's a bit of a glare coming off of the Corvette in front of me, because he has kind of a chromish matte finish on his car. At least that's what it looks like. But with other cars, the light reflects off of them in a completely different way. So, kind of getting into that, I should probably mention that when it comes to night racing and racing in the rain, it's not a mode that can be like turned on or off before starting a race. The way it works is that when you go to track select, you'll see the different versions of that track below. So, for example, when I went to track select for this race, and went to Spa, I looked down and we see a track map icon with a little sun, and that means it's day. It's the day version. Then you see a track map again with a little moon, crescent moon, that means night. And it's the same if there's a track that has rain, you'll see the track map and a little icon with a cloud and some raindrops falling down. And then that's how you pick how you want to race before the race, or before you actually start racing. That might disappoint some people that it's simply not an option that you can turn on or off. But there's kind of a good reason why Turn 10 decided to do it that way, and that's because when it comes to lighting, like in day or night situations, or rain in wet or dry situations, all those things are modeled into their game engine, into Forza Tech, which is the name of their engine. And they're all done in a mathematically accurate way to the true light counterpart. So, driving Spa at night right now, they went out there and looked at what Spa is like at night and used, math and science and stuff to accurately calculate that in their engine. So because of that, you have this sort of tailor-made experience when it comes to night racing and rain racing for a specific track, rather than like the general thing that you kind of just turn on and off, and it sort of does the same thing no matter what track you're racing on. So even though it's kind of a bummer that it's not available on every track and it's not simply like an option that you do in the pre-race, the fact that they did it this way, I think, will win people over, even those who might be initially against not having all the tracks have rain and not having all the tracks have night racing, because since it's such a tailor-made experience, it sort of lends itself to the driving experience for that particular track. I mean, this is incredibly sketchy, and there's still a decent amount of light, even though it is night, but that's only because I have my headlights and everybody else's headlights. If I wanted to, I could theoretically race this track in complete darkness by just choosing a car that has no headlights. In fact, I think I might do that just because
just sort of like I can go pick up a real car
or something like that, like a NASCAR that has no headlights, and race a track at night. And I can do that. I probably won't be able to see anything, but the game allows for it, and I think I might just try that out just to see how crazy it is. Oh man, I suck at that turn. Now, I can't get into my final impressions or review scores or anything like that on this game yet, because the embargo hasn't lifted, but also because I've only had a couple days with the game so far, so I haven't formed a final opinion. But what I can tell you is that I've had a lot of fun with what I've done with the game so far, and oh, that is bad. I just ruined everything. Oh my gosh, it's worse. I suck at this game. I can also say that there are a lot of new elements in Forza Motorsport 6 that haven't been in any other Forza game that might seem kind of weird to people at first, but actually are quite refreshing to the experience. They sort of borrowed things from other game genres and incorporated it into Forza Motorsport 6, and that might sound scary to the purists out there, but I really think that even the most staunch Forza fans who hate change will like some of the elements that they added to this game. I wish I could tell you what those things were right now, but it's still a little early for that. But next week, we'll cover all that in our full review. This is really, really tricky. Now, see, when you're by the stand, you have the light from the grandstands that sort of lighten the track, and that's sort of the only little break that you get from this complete and total darkness. And this Corvette dude is kicking my butt right now. Let's see if we can get him back. See, that's one of the craziest parts. Like, I've played this track in other games, and it's, obviously during the day, so you see that uphill S coming from a mile away, and you can set yourself up for it. But like this, you don't see it until it's right under your headlights. So even though I know it's coming, it still seems like kind of a surprise every time I get there, and it freaks me out. In other games when I play during the day, like I see it coming, I set myself up, and depending on what game I'm playing or what kind of car I'm driving, I can take that whole area flat, but whoa, oh gosh, but not here. Now you gotta be more careful. It's funny how something as simple as racing at night forces you to totally change your thinking. You really have to invest some thought in every move you make when driving on a track like this at night. You gotta rethink where you would attack, where you would try to make passes, or you could just try to plow through everybody like I did. But if you're actually good at this game and want to have some thoughtful racecraft, it requires some deeper thinking than driving in the daylight would, because you can't see everything that's in front of you, and that's kind of important. But what's really cool that something like this, even though it was, a significant amount of work for turn 10, just racing at night kind of adds this whole new layer of gameplay to Forza. Whoa. Grip. There's not as much tension right now because this is just a free play race, but I can imagine if this was like the last race in a series and I really needed the points or the winnings, being really stressed out, hoping that I don't make a mistake that totally ruins my entire race, which can easily happen. Second place, 257. Not great, but not horrible. Anyway, there you have it. That is Spa at night in the out. Oh my gosh. Oh, I ruined this car. I am so sorry. That is Spa at night in the Audi R8 V10 at Forza Motorsport 6. If you enjoy this video, help us out by clicking the like button. If you want to see more videos, and which we will be making more Forza 6 videos, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. And stay tuned to our full review that will be coming out next week. We'll let you know when that review goes up via our social media channels. So if you aren't already following us, you can follow us on Twitter at MotorworldType, on Instagram at MotorworldType, on Facebook at facebook.com/MotorworldType, and obviously on YouTube at youtube.com/MotorworldType. Anyway, we'll keep you posted whenever we put up more Forza 6 videos. Thanks for watching.